My Secret Personality. Web novel. Chapter 4. Charlie also saw Doris for the first time. I have to say that Doris looks really beautiful. At the age of 27 or 18, she has a slender and plump figure, an alluring beauty and a noble and capable temperament. Charlie sat down at Doris's desk and said, "I won't come to the Emigrant Group often in the future. So the Emigrant Group wants you to preside over the overall situation. And don't reveal my identity." Doris knew that the Charlie family in front of her was extraordinary. And an Emigrant Group was nothing short of drizzle to his family. And it was normal to not want to manage it himself. So she hurriedly said, "Mr. Wade, if you have anything in the future, you can just tell me." At this time, a female secretary knocked on the door and came in and said, "Miss Doris, there is a man named Gerald who has brought his fiancée to visit you." Doris immediately said, "I'm seeing the distinguished guests, let them wait first." Charlie asked her, "Do you know this Gerald?" Doris hurriedly said, "His family is a partner under us. And their main business is dependent on us. Their family has always said that they will come to visit. And they have been here several times." Charlie said coldly, "From now on, the Emigrant Group will no longer have any business dealings with the White family. All ongoing and preparatory cooperation will be suspended. If the White family can still earn a cent from the Emigrant Group, you deputy chairman, will have to pack your things." When Doris heard this, her expression suddenly frightened. She didn't need to ask to know that someone from the White family must have offended the young master. So she nodded immediately and said, "Mr. Wade, don't worry. I will order now to terminate all cooperation with the White family." Charlie snorted and said, "Tell them that Emigrant Group will not cooperate with low-quality garbage. And then let the security guards drive them out." Outside, Gerald and Wendy were waiting excitedly. The White family has always wanted to become a strategic partner of the Emigrant Group. So they especially hope to get closer to Doris. But unexpectedly, Doris's secretary came with several security guards. Gerald couldn't help asking her, "Hello, will Miss Doris have time to see us?" The secretary looked at him and said coldly, "I'm sorry, our deputy Doris said. Emigrant Group will not cooperate with people of low quality like you. From now on, we are canceling all cooperation with your family." "What did you say?" Gerald was stunned for a moment, and was astonished. "Why is this sentence so familiar?" "Oh, right. When he was in the parking lot just now. Charlie also said exactly the same thing. What does Miss Doris mean? Why should they stop cooperating with the White family?" Gerald felt his brain congested. What happened? Terminate all cooperation? More than half of White's profits are made by the Emigrant Group. If the cooperation is terminated, wouldn't the family strength be cut by half immediately? He could not accept this reality and shouted, "I want to see Miss Doris. I want to ask Miss Doris face to face." The secretary said coldly, "I'm sorry, our deputy Doris won't see you. And you won't be allowed to step into the Emigrant Group in the future." Gerald scolded angrily, "Did you deliberately play with me? We are a long-term partner of the Emigrant Group. How can we terminate cooperation like this?" The secretary ignored him and said directly to the security guards around him, "Take them out." The security captain rushed forward, grabbed Gerald's wrist, and then twisted it behind him. Gerald yelled in pain, and the guard yelled coldly, "Get out. If you dare to make trouble in the Emigrant Group, be careful that I dispose of you. You are a security captain, dare to yell at me, do you know who I am?" As soon as Gerald's voice fell, Captain slapped him and cursed. "In front of the Emigrant Group, what are you?" Gerald was slapped with a fierce pain on his face. When he was about to get angry, the phone rang suddenly. The call turned out to be from his father. When the phone was connected, an angry roar came from the other side. "Gerald, what did you do?" Now that Emgrand Group wants to cancel all cooperation with us, who did you offend? Gerald said aggrievedly, Dad, I have not offended anyone. I just came to visit Miss Doris, but I haven't even seen Miss Doris's face. On the other end of the phone, Gerald's father yelled. The people of the Emgrand Group said that the reason they discontinued their cooperation with the White family is all because you are an unqualified rubbish. Now the family has suffered heavy losses because of you. So you hurry back to me and personally explain to your grandpa. Gerald was driven out of the gate of Emgrand Group by security all the way, holding the phone with a surprised expression. He suddenly thought of Charlie, and couldn't help asking Wendy, Wendy, is it because of your rubbish brother-in-law? Has he have anything to do with the Emgrand Group? Huh. Wendy was taken aback by Gerald's words, thinking about it carefully. It might indeed be related to her rubbish brother-in-law. However, he is obviously a waste. Thinking of this, she shook her head flatly and said, how could he have something to do with the Emgrand Group? He is not qualified to come to the Emgrand Group to clean the toilet. That's right. Gerald nodded, thinking of his furious father. He said sullenly, no, I have to go home quickly. The news that the White family was terminated by the Emgrand Group immediately spread throughout Oris Hill. Although it is not known why the Emgrand Group wants to block the White family, everyone knows that the White family must have offended the Emgrand Group. At this time, the White family was over. The White family's strength has plummeted by more than half. It was already close to the standard of the first-tier family. But now it has fallen directly into the tail of the second-tier family. When the old Mrs. Wilson heard the news, she was shaking with anger. She wanted to annul the marriage contract between Wendy and Gerald, but thought that the White family was thinner and camel was bigger than the horse. And the Wilson family could not afford to offend. So she could only give this thought up temporarily. At this time, in Doris's office, Charlie learned the whole process just now and admired her style very much. Charlie said with satisfaction, Doris, what you did just now is very good. Starting today, your salary will be double. Doris was surprised and delighted, and hurriedly stood up and bowed to Charlie. Thank you, Mr. Wade. Charlie nodded and said, also, I want you to announce two things. Mr. Wade, say it, and it will be done. The first thing is to announce the change of ownership of Emgrand Group, and the appointment of the new chairman. But do not reveal the identity of the new chairman. Only the last name is Wade, that is what people need to know. The second thing is to announce that Emgrand Group will invest $2 billion in Oris Hill to build a 6-star hotel. At the same time, it will launch a partner bidding. Construction and decoration companies in the city can participate in the bidding. The main business of the Wilson Group is decoration. The Lady Wilson dreams of going to the big ship of Emgrand Group. Whoever can win the cooperation of the Emgrand Group will definitely become the red man of the Wilson Group. Now the Emgrand Group is his own. And of course he has to give his wife some benefits. End of chapter 4.